Welcome to The Explainer. It's a question a lot of us have. Why do some businesses just get it online, attracting customers like magnets, while others are just shouting into the void? Well, today, we're going to map out that exact digital journey. We're talking about the complete playbook for turning total strangers into your biggest fans. So let's start with a really important question. Right now, at this very moment, your next customer is online. But do you actually know the path they're going to take to get to you? Because if you don't, you can bet they're going to find a path, and it'll probably lead right to your competition. And that right there, that's a huge shift in how we need to think about this. This isn't about some magic marketing trick or a one-hit wonder viral post. No, it's about consciously building a journey for them. You're the guide, and you're leading them every step of the way, from that very first, what's this? Click, all the way to the final purchase. Okay, let's dive right in. The journey always starts at the same place, the awareness stage. This is ground zero. It's that moment when a potential customer goes from not knowing you exist to suddenly you're on their radar. Okay, check this out. This number from Backlinko is, honestly, it's kind of staggering. Almost 60%, 58.5 to be exact, of all Google searches end without a click. Think about that. People get their answer right on the results page and they're gone. So what does that mean for you? It means if you're not the answer they see right away, you might as well be invisible. And that's exactly where SEO, or search engine optimization, comes into play. It's your secret weapon. In this new world of zero-click searches, SEO isn't about stuffing keywords onto a page anymore. It's about becoming the map itself, being the clearest, most helpful, and direct answer to whatever your customer is asking the second they ask it. So how do you actually build this map? Well, Backlinko gives us a really solid 3-step roadmap. First, you gotta know what you're aiming for. Define your business goals. Don't just chase traffic for traffic's sake. Second, do your homework. Find the exact words your customers are using. You have to speak their language. And third, scope out the competition. See what they're doing and figure out where you can be better, where you can really shine. And this quote, this just nails it. The biggest mistake isn't a technical one. It's a strategic one. Chasing rankings instead of revenue. The goal isn't just to be number one on Google, right? The real goal is to get actual business from it. We're talking real leads, real sales. Traffic is just the car that gets you there. It's not the destination. Okay, so your awesome SEO worked. Someone clicked through and they've landed on your website. Success. Or is it? Because this moment, right here, is where so many businesses drop the ball. A bad first impression can send a visitor packing in like 3 seconds flat. So let's talk about the big mistakes and how to avoid them. All right, first up, the classic homepage slider. You know the one. Strice points out that these things often create what's called banner blindness. We've all seen them so many times that our brains are literally trained to just ignore them. So instead of trying to cram 5 messages into one confusing carousel, just pick one strong targeted message and rotate it out when you need to. Simple and way more effective. And this next one, look, it's just not optional anymore. More than half of all web traffic is on a phone. So if your website is a mess on mobile, if people have to pinch and zoom and squint, it's not just an annoyance. It's a deal breaker for most of the people who find you. Think about it yourself for a second. When's the last time you were excited to pick up the phone and call a business you'd never heard of before? Yeah, probably not recently. Most people hesitate. A short, simple contact form, that completely removes the awkwardness. It lets people reach out when they're ready, on their terms. And here's a golden rule of web design. Don't make me think. Your visitor should never have to guess what to do next. A big, obvious call to action, a CTA, is like a bright, friendly sign telling them exactly where to go. Whether it's buy now or learn more, you have to lead them by the hand. So, your website looks great, it's easy to use, you've got their attention. Awesome. But now comes the really tough part, earning their trust. This is where you go from just being a website they found to a solution they actually believe in. So how do you do that? Well, one really smart tactic is something called gated content. You've probably seen this. The idea is basically a trade. You offer something super valuable, like a detailed guide, a webinar, a useful template, and to get it, they give you their email address. It's a simple, powerful value exchange. But what's the ultimate trust builder? It's not about what you say you can do. It's about what you can prove you've done. I'm talking about real-world proof that you can solve their specific problem. because you've already solved it for someone else just like them. And that's where a killer case study comes in. WebStacks gives us the perfect recipe. It's not just a story, it's a structured argument. You start with a headline that screams results. Then you lay it out. Here was the client's problem, here's exactly what we did, and here's the amazing outcome. And you back it all up with real numbers, real ROI, and quotes from the happy client. All right, let's recap. They found you, they like your website, and now, because of your amazing content, they trust you. We are so close. This is the final step in the journey, the decision stage. This is where we turn all that interest into actual action. You've done all this hard work to get them to this moment. Please don't fumble it now with a cluttered, confusing page. This is why dedicated landing pages are absolute magic. Their entire reason for existing is to get rid of all the distractions and focus the visitor on doing one single thing. And what's great is that you don't need to overcomplicate it. Leadfeeder points out that a high-converting landing page really just boils down to 3 key things. 1, a headline with a clear benefit. 2, copy that hooks them in and answers that big question, so what? Why should I care? And 3, an offer that is just a complete no-brainer for them. Okay, through this whole journey, from that first search to the final click, there is one thing that underpins everything. It's the foundation of this entire process, and it's an unbreakable rule. You have to respect your customers' data and their privacy. Without that trust, the whole thing falls apart. Which, of course, brings us to the big one, that 4-letter word that makes a lot of businesses nervous, GDPR, the General Data Protection Regulation. And it's a question that trips up a ton of people, especially if you're not based in Europe. Does this thing actually apply to you? Okay, let's try to cut through the legal speak and make this simple. The first question to ask yourself is this: does your business have any kind of establishment in the European Union? And that doesn't just mean a big fancy office. It could be a subsidiary, or heck, even a single person acting as your agent over there. All right, question number 2. Let's say you don't have a presence there. The next thing to ask is, are you intentionally offering your stuff to people in the EU? You know, things like having your website in French or German or accepting payments in euros. That's a pretty clear sign you're targeting them. And the last big question is this: are you monitoring the behavior of people in the EU? This is a big one. It covers everything from website cookies and analytics to any kind of user profiling. Now, if you answered yes to any of these 3 questions, that's your cue. It's time to take a serious look at your data practices. Because at the end of the day, a successful digital journey isn't built on tricks, it's built on trust. And that's how you turn a stranger into a customer for life.